everyone, how's everyone doing today? It's me, your boy Charles Robin, and my co-host Coop.
What's going on, y'all?
And today is our show, What You Been On. This is the show where we talk about what we've been watching in anime and what we've been reading, manga speaking. The anime we've been watching is either going to be old or new. Same thing with the manga. I'm going to let Coop go first because he has the shorter list.
I do have the shorter list.
I have the bigger list. Like I've been reading a lot and I've been watching a bunch of shit.
Yeah, I do. And it's also because of time frame, right? Like I go through these big spurts of shit that I like. It's either I'm watching a million different things or I'm fixated on two things at a time.
Yeah, you have that hyperfixation thing that I have, but with you it's anime, with me it's music.
So as my lovely co-host has said, I have one, maybe two things to talk about that I've been on recently. And it's okay, so I guess everyone knows about World Trigger. Obviously, that's what I've been on this week. That's what I've been on this week. I have watched 70 episodes of World Trigger this week.
Have you been doing 10 episodes a day?
Kind of, yeah. Close to it. Kind of, maybe more. Maybe more on certain days, because
oh my god,
maybe more on certain days because I think that I started. When did I start? I think I started on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Oh, that's a lot more episodes a day. Gosh.
I'm gonna say I think I started on Tuesday or Wednesday, so I didn't even start at the beginning of the week. Actually, I didn't even start at the beginning of the week. Yeah, so obviously on my What You Been On time, I am going to be mainly talking about World Trigger for I just want to take a second to get it all out because I have some emotions. You all probably don't follow me on Twitter, but if you do, there's a thing that I'm pretty infamous for doing. I go on these rants, these really long-winded rants where it's a thread that has 25 tweets in it of whatever I'm watching or whatever I'm pissed off at or whatever's going on. World Trigger has caught my attention with my Twitter rants because I don't know how I feel about the main character, right? So
okay.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the main character, and here's what I'm going to clarify what I mean by that. And I also just realized I'm talking about my Twitter and it's literally right beneath me. So if you want to follow me on Twitter,
our Twitter's
if you want to follow me on Twitter, it is underneath my face. So you can check that out. But I don't so the main character's name is Asamu.
I have a question. Is that the white-haired one or is that the one with the glasses?
It's the one with the glasses.
Okay. See, and that's the thing that confuses me because they put the white hair guy right there in the middle, but he's not the main character.
No, he's not the main character. He's just the strong one. Okay. Yeah, he's the strong one from another world. So the whole premise of World Trigger is that I guess we're gonna call it Earth, even though they haven't called it Earth in the show yet. But I'm just gonna assume that it's Earth. A version of our Earth is being invaded by this thing called neighbors, right? And apparently they come from another dimension. That's it. And there was an agency formed to defend Earth from these neighbors, these otherworldly, other dimensional beings that come to our world to, I guess, abduct and or just kind of kill humans willy-nilly. Is the premise. So this agency defends Earth from neighbors, and they're called Border. And it's you know how it is with bureaucracy and agencies kind of fit to defend the universe from otherworldly threats. It's kind of like that. It's kind of that.
I'm mad how they called it Border.
It's called Border. Yeah, okay, so
that's really on the nose.
Bro, okay, so check it. I was tweeting about it, and I made sure to capitalize the B in Border because I said Border Agent, and I didn't want anyone to think that I was talking about like a border agents. So I was like, let me capitalize the B so they know that I'm talking about.
You probably should have capitalized like the whole joint.
But that's like the premise, right? So the main guy is my main gripe with this show right now because, like I said, I'm 70 episodes fucking deep, right? And I've been speed running this shit. I've been speed running this fucking anime, and his whole bag is that he's not very strong, right? You know, the not very strong anime main character where they're not very strong, but they have to find a special way to fight because everyone looks to them to lead, that usual trope. You know what I mean?
Oh man, there's an anime like that I actually really like, but it's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of it.
Yeah. And so...
But I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah,
you know exactly how I mean. So he's weak, but he has to find creative ways to fight because everyone looks to him to lead. So, all right, that's cool and everything. I'm cool with the whole strategist trope kind of thing, but
Log Horizon, that's what it is.
Log Horizon. I'm gonna say Log Horizon is a prime example of this, but this is different in that his strats are like god tier. Like you can tell that he stands out for his strats. The main character in Log Horizon. Like, right,
yeah,
like
exactly.
You can tell that he truly stands out because of his strats. That's like, and that was easy.
And he's like an enchanter. He's not like a
yeah.
He just makes sure everyone's buff.
I'm gonna say he's not, and he still has practical uses of his abilities beyond the fact that he can strategize. This guy is like in a halfway house everywhere. He's in a halfway house with strategizing. He's in a halfway house with creative combat. He's in a halfway house of being a leader. It's very weird. It's like they can't give this motherfucker anything, too much of anything. It's very it's very strange. Like even in universe, they've kind of called out his strategies and been like, yeah, it was okay. It was all right. Like none of his strategies have made anyone in 70 episodes, I might add. 70 fucking episodes. Nobody's gone, wow, I wouldn't have thought of that. Like he doesn't think so uniquely that it would be a value where I'm like, okay, I'm cool with this. I'm cool with you being the heart of the team, the leader of the team, because your strats are so crazy that that's your true value to the team. The thing about it,
none of that.
He doesn't really have that. Like honestly, even I'll even say this: his team even did win without him twice. They didn't even really need him. Like,
I think I'm starting to see your gripe with this show because now even I'm getting like, what's the point of this motherfucker?
What is the point of this motherfucker being here? That's what I'm trying to say. So imagine fucking Coop. It's fucking 1 a.m. I'm frustrated and I'm sitting here looking and I'm like, okay, so what was the point of that? Why am I sitting here at 1 a.m. watching this if he's just not gonna okay. And another thing that the show does that just like really grinds me up, and this is like one of my like final points about this, is that like, okay, it'll keep baiting you into thinking that it's time for him to grow, you know? Like he keeps realizing, oh, I can't go on like this. I have to get stronger. And I'm like, yes. And then he like goes to someone to ask them for advice. And I'm like, yes, this is the sequence of events. Let's pick up the pace a little bit. The training arc. And then he just gets his ass kicked. And then they're just like, you're never going to get stronger that way. And I'm like, okay, well, what was the point of that?
Man, help him. Help him.
Please. Like, what was the point of just like literally, okay, so literally at one point, he is a B rank. So you know the usual ranking system in these kinds of agencies, like
is it like A through F or A through E?
It's like C through S technically.
Oh, C through S. Oh, that's different.
I'm about to say it's C through S technically, because like in order to be like an S rank, you have to possess a black trigger. That's their weapons. That's black trigger.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. But like, he fights an A ranker. So here's the thing about this, right? The difference in strength between a B rank and an A rank is like, don't even fucking mention it. Don't even think that if you're a certain B rank that you can even stand up to like A rank folk. Don't even fucking think about it. Like, there are several hundred C rank soldiers, like maybe 100 B rank soldiers, and then like 40 A rank soldiers. You see what I'm getting at?
Wow, yeah, okay.
So like, there's no point in even believing that you really have a fighting chance against these motherfuckers unless you're also in A rank, or we later find out there are people in high B rank that were once A rank, but for certain reasons got moved down to high B rank. So basically, unless you're high B rank, you're not contending against A rank. And if you're high A rank, no one contends against you except for other A rank people.
Oh, okay,
except for other A rank people and S rank people. And there's only like 2 S rank people at a time.
Ooh, wow.
I'm going to say, so yeah, like right now, there's only 1 S rank person, technically. There's only 1 active S rank member in this agency right now.
Damn.
So, all right. Now that you understand like the ranking system, this guy, the main guy, Osamu, he is a B rank that became a B rank based off of the merits of somebody else. The white-haired kid that you saw. Okay, but like it wasn't his fault. Okay, let me clarify. Let me clarify.
Go ahead.
So the white-haired kid, right? That you mentioned earlier, he came to this world from the neighborhood. He's a neighbor. But they've never seen a humanoid neighbor before. They're all like creatures that they like kind of cut up. Like kind of like hollows, you know what I mean? But not hollows. Like they'd never seen a human one before. Or so we're led to believe at the beginning of the series. So the white-haired kid isn't from this Earth. He's from the other dimension. So technically he's a enemy. So he meets with the main guy, and the main guy decides that he's cool, and he decides to help hide him from Border, essentially. But the white-haired kid has a black trigger and is super strong and is like killing neighbors and shit. He's like killing the creatures and shit. So in order to cover it up, they gave the credit to Osamu. So he did it to keep his friends safe, but it ended up getting him merit in his agency.
Bureaucratic B rank.
Yes, essentially he did it to keep his friends safe, and he took the credit so that for bureaucratic reasons, essentially.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So
this is kind of starting to make sense now.
Okay. Yeah. So for bureaucratic reasons, so he doesn't really have the skills and merits of a true B rank. So everybody keeps going, dude, you're weak, man. Are you sure you're B rank? Are you sure you're B rank? Are you positive you're B rank? And he's like, well, that wasn't like, he wants to be honest so bad, but he never gets like the opportunity, not until later. So he fights this guy. A rank number 1, by the way, like, or A rank number 2, I think. He's in the A rank number 2 squad. He fights this guy because this guy wanted to, like, I don't know, he wanted to see why, because the 1 S rank dude took interest in Osamu and called him like, oh, that's my homie, like that's my boy, like, you know what I'm saying, like I'm taking him under my wing along with these other people. So, this A-rank dude was like, I gotta see why the fuck Jin is so interested in you. Because I know why he's interested in the white-haired kid, because the white-haired kid, he been to war. He's seen some shit, so he actually has hands. He's actually very powerful. So everybody's like, cool, we get that. But what the fuck is the deal with you? So he fights this guy, and he gets his fucking shit ran. he gets the shit kicked out of him, right? Is what you're supposed to expect. But then they like give you like this like moment where he's like, I don't know what he said. The A rank guy said something that kind of ticked him off after the 24th loss. And then you had one of those shonen moments where he's like, oh yeah, he's gonna grow, he's figuring it out, he's kind of figuring it out a little bit, where he like thought up a strategy that kind of worked, and they fought to a tie. And that was fully off of his own merits, right? And I was like, dope, that's cool. But then here's the fucking kick in the dick, right? Immediately after, one of the A ranker's teammates was like, dude, why didn't you just put a shield up right when he fired his weapon? That would have rendered his strategy moot. It wasn't even that tight. And I was like, okay, then what? What was the point of even displaying that he could do that? If you're just gonna completely discredit it, like in the next scene, what was the point of even showing that? So, and that happened in like episode 30, by the way. That was like,
oh my god,
that wasn't even recent. I'm gonna say that wasn't even recent. Nope, it wasn't even recent. That happened in like episode 30. So imagine 40 more episodes of just looking at this motherfucker like, hey yo man, look, somebody please get this man a training arc. Please. Like,
I'm guessing 70 episodes in, he still hasn't gotten it.
No.
Oh
He is essentially, I'll put it, and to end my gripes with this show, because that's pretty much my only gripe. I like the world. I like the weaponry. I kind of like the power systems. They're a little vague at times, and it's a little hard to like really nail down what's going on. Mm-hmm. But no, essentially there is a creature called a Marmot, right? And the way that the white-haired child, whose name is Yuma, by the way, I'm just gonna call him by his name. Yuma basically explains to Osamu, he's like, we would need 20 of you to defeat one of these Marmots. And even then, only 2 Osamus would have survived the ordeal. Now, here's what I'm gonna say. Marmots are like the basic soldier. Yeah, exactly. They're not the most basic soldier, but they're like 2 steps above the most basic soldier that gets sent over from the other dimension. They're like the basic combat model that they send over. Yeah, exactly. So for the basic combat model, you would need 20 of this guy to beat one of them, and only 2 of this guy would survive fighting one of them. Right? That's the way that they kind of explained it. So that was very early on, like episode like 7 or like in the early teens or something like that, very early on in the show. Okay, so now, and when I mean now, I mean this happened like maybe 7 episodes ago. Somewhere in the 50s or 60s, he fought a Marmot by himself, and he won, but barely.
Oh, okay.
Barely. Like you would think, okay, so I'm thinking that maybe Yuma was maybe exaggerating a little bit, but like
he was hanging on a thread beating that man.
He barely beat this one Marmot. And then when another one came, he was basically fucked. Yuma came and saved him, but Yuma came and saved him and killed the other one. But when he fought the one, he killed it, but he still like lost an arm.
Oh, jeez.
In this show, that's like fine. Like when they activate their weapon, their live body gets swapped out for a body made of Tryon. That's like their energy source.
Oh, I do remember that actually. Oh,
yeah.
Right,
so
right.
So like when they're out in the streets fighting, the stakes aren't really that wild.
High,
like motherfuckers be
like,
losing limbs
still...
like left and right. Like.
Right, okay.
There's still a danger element, but that's what I've been on this week. Basically, just watching World Trigger and being upset about Osamu. And I read the new Solo Leveling this week. It was incredible as usual, honestly. But that's what I've been doing recently. Is just being frustrated about World Trigger's main character.
Honestly, from like hearing that, I'm frustrated now. I mean, shit. I mean,
yeah.
Let this man be great. He's the main character. What you doing? You gonna wait till like the last episode for him to be like, I finally got my trigger?
And see, that's what makes me wild. Is because there's these little nods to what would just make this motherfucker great. There's these little nods, and they keep doing it. Like, he joined a branch of Border where everyone there has custom-made triggers. Everyone else in Border kind of uses triggers the way that, like, you would use weapons out of a military armory, right? Mm-hmm. They're like standard issue, you know what I'm saying? And then they kind of mix and match. But these guys, they got custom ones. So I'm like, oh, that's what's going to happen. He's going to get a custom-made trigger, and that's going to help him figure out how he can fight, how he can be a better asset to his team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what he's missing. No. They went on like a 6-minute tangent about these custom triggers and still nothing. They never mentioned it again. So I'm just like, all right, well, you know, I'll just wait, I guess, until this is kind of giving me like Hitman Reborn vibes.
Exactly, and both of us already know we do not like that show.
I maintain that Hitman Reborn. Don't watch Hitman Reborn.
Don't do it, please.
It's giving me those Hitman Reborn vibes. So that's what I've been on. Just being frustrated as fuck about Osamu of World Trigger, but kind of enjoying it. You know, and just been hyper fixated on it. I just want to get to the end. That's what I want to do. I just want to get to the end or get to a point where Osamu can just like do anything.
Like finally run hands. Like just...
I would say like do anything. I didn't even have this big of a problem with Tokyo Revengers. In fact, I had no problems with Takamichi, and that motherfucker can't fight. But he was still making huge gains. I was like, that's gains right there. Like, I respect that. But this man has made no gains. In 70 episodes, no gains. And maybe on another episode of What You've Been On, I'll be frustrated again. Maybe not. We'll have to see. Okay. So, with that out the way, man, I gotta ask, what you been on?
All right. So, what I've been on is the world's finest assassin gets reincarnated into another world.
All right.
So, it's a new isekai. For people who don't know, I'm isekai trash. I love isekai. Fucking love isekai, yo. It's my favorite. It's my favorite. It's either I get reincarnated or I get sent to another world. It's one of my favorite things, bro. I love it. But this one is literally this guy who was like the best assassin on Earth. Like, when I mean the best assassin, I mean this man was taking out people through armored cars type of assassin.
Damn.
Like, this man, like he had the right weapons, he had the right strategies. Like, even when like they got caught, he had the perfect strategy to get out of the situation. And he was finally done after this last mission. He was finally done, gonna retire, just teach the new generation.
Imagine thinking that way as an assassin. I'll teach the new generation.
Exactly. But you already know what's up. His organization was like, nah, get him out of here.
Oh.
So they put a landmine into the plane that he was in that was going to take him back home. And it blew up the pilot cockpit. And the plane just exploded.
Okay, so it's kind of like Slime in that regard. He died first. And then he got like, yeah, okay.
And so a goddess saw him and was like, let me take that. And she was like, yo, Kaso. You know, like how they always do.
Yeah.
And he was just like, oh, I'm dead. She was like, yeah, but you trying to do an assassination for me? He was like, what's the contract? This man is dead. He could have just been like, nah, man, I'm done assassinating. Nah, just send me to the next life. Nah, he fought, like, before he died, he never had any emotion. He suppressed all of his emotions. And then when he figured out what was going to happen to him, all those emotions came back. So now he's just like, yo, I'm trying to live my life totally different now. So there's a new contract. What you want me to do? Here's the contract. He has to kill the hero.
Oh, like the hero of like the story, like just the general hero of the story. Oh,
hero of the next world, you know? Of the
oh
other
shit!
world.
All right, here we go.
And he's just like, why the hero? She says that he beats the demon lord. However, after he beats the demon lord, he then subjugates the entire world.
Oh, so like he wasn't the good guy.
He has the hero title.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I'm gonna say he's a piece of garbage. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm caught up now. All right.
So she wants him to assassinate him. So she gives him, like, you know, the whole thing. You can get like these cheat skills. However, you can only pick 5. How many skills does a hero have? 30.
What? Can he get new ones as he goes on?
No. But he picks the right skills, though. He only picked 5, but he picks 5 skills that might make him the most powerful person in the world.
Okay, bet. I mean, he is like the world's greatest assassin, or world's greatest assassin.
So he's thinking about no, dude. Seriously, he picks his skills, and like the way he picks the skills, the way he thinks about it, like he could probably surpass the hero, but he still thinks that he needs more power. But the way he goes about like the thinking process of it is just like, yo, that's pretty dope. Like that right there could just kill the hero. Because it's Spellweaver to where he can like make his own spells.
Okay, so he has abilities within abilities. So like he can make his own spells that he can use.
Mm-hmm. And then he also has like limitless energy. Like they were like, "Yo, okay, you know, let's test your mana." And he almost made a nuclear bomb with the amount of mana he had, and he still had more to give out.
That's heat. Literally.
He also
like,
has like to where like his health regenerates easy, his stamina regenerates easy.
Okay.
Like he made basically the Dark Souls build to where like if someone hits him, he takes this much damage, and you can't see it because my fingers look like they're together, but they're slightly apart. That's how much damage he will take.
Yeah, just like this much. That is OP. And apparently skills too, like just his general human abilities.
No, this ain't even like his. This is also with the assassination skills. And
well, yes, that's what I'm saying. Like his general, like what he already had. That just makes it worse.
And so he gets born into a family of assassins.
Oh wow!
But the way they go about their business is totally different from the organization he was in. So now he finally has his humanity, but he also knows how to assassinate good.
I'm about to say I have feelings now, but guns still go burr.
Oh yeah, speaking of which, he can make guns now.
Yeah, okay, so here's what I was gonna say about that. I saw a still picture of it, and it was just a kid with a gun, and I was like, is the world's greatest assassin a child?
Yeah, because he gets reincarnated.
Because he gets reincarnated. Yeah, exactly. I was like, because you don't know how it goes. Like you don't know. Like it's not always a kid. Like the only time I've ever seen like it be like a child was in Jobless Reincarnation and and this one. These are the only times I've ever seen them like come back as like the Demon Lord one that I recommended to you. But
yes, yeah.
I would say like the Demon Lord at Demon High School. I can't remember what it's fucking called, and I loved the anime, and I can't remember.
That's the joint where he's like a kid, but
like he was like a baby, but I'm gonna say
3 months.
Yeah, exactly. Like he aged to like a full grown person, but like technically that's the only time I've seen reincarnations. Like you, and then like you're still like a kid, or like you come back as a kid. Now.
Yeah, right. So right now this is on 3 episodes. The 3rd episode just came out. I watched it. It's fire, of course. And that's literally the episode where he learned how to make a gun.
I have gum now.
And it's not like you know, oh yeah, gun with like normal bullets. No, it's gun with magic bullets.
Gun with magic bullets. Bet.
So I mean, you know, it's great.
Amazing.
It's a really good show. It's a really good show. I enjoyed the opening. Ending it's okay, but opening is really good.
Right.
The next one is the one that we were actually talking about, which is Faraway Paladin.
Yes.
So this is another reincarnation type of joint, but instead of like in the last one, he's like 7 at this time. Right now, he's about 15. So with this new one, he's like at 15 years old now.
Okay.
It's a really good show. It's person died, he's been reincarnated as a baby. You go through a few episodes of him like growing up, and
baby.
by the time to where like you get to him now, he's about 15. But as the show like starts and goes on, he's being raised by undead.
Oh, neat.
He's being raised by a mummy, a skeleton, and a ghost.
So he's Arthas. He's Arthas.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah.
Neat.
But the mummy, she's called the mummy, but she's not like wrapped or anything. She's just like a dehydrated body almost.
Oh, so yeah, like an actual mummy then.
Mm-hmm. And so she is the healer. Gus. Okay, so it's Mary, which is the mummy. Gus, which is the ghost. He's the mage. He's the one that has all the magic. He's the one that teaches him like old and new magic.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's Blood, who's the skeleton, who is a warrior, straight up warrior, like to the point to where in the recent episode, they're having their fight before he turns into a man, and he stabs him in the ribs, and he's just like checkmate. But instead, he uses that move to beat the kid, and Mary literally like tries her hardest not to beat the shit out of him because he's like, "You did that when you were alive. Stop."
Huh.
And the kid's just like, "What? Listen, I had perfect confidence in Mary's healing. Shut up, you idiot! Why would you do that?" So it's like a nice little family. It's like a nice little family.
Nice but little family.
The kid is a human, and the other ones are undead. So
yeah.
I don't want to get into it specifically because like the next part is kind of like spoilerish, but mostly because like it begs into the twist of the show.
Okay, cool.
So I'm going to stop there and instead go watch the show. It's a really good show. The next thing I want to talk about is Platinum End.
Hey, something I should have been on this week, but I got distracted by World Trigger.
So I finally watched Platinum End. The first 2 episodes really hooked me because it's a kid who's about to commit suicide, unfortunately. But instead, an angel saves him. And you see his backstory, which is his family dies, and now he's living with his aunt and uncle who treats him like shit.
Oh, no.
And so you're just like, oh, man. So you understand, why, he was so distraught. And so then the angel gives him these powers, and she's like, well, hey, maybe you should use it on your aunt, because I mean technically they're kind of lying to you. What do you mean? Oh, they had a hand in your parents' murder.
Oh god.
So he has 3 things. He has wings of an angel to where he can actually fly now.
Neat.
He has these red arrows that will make anyone do what he wants them to do.
Ooh. Code gas.
And he has white arrows that will just straight up kill people.
Bet.
What I mean straight up kill people, I mean if you get nicked by it, you're dead.
Oh god. All right.
So he has all 3. Bet. And so you find out in the first episode, you're just like, whoa, that's kind of pretty powerful.
It's pretty
powerful.
powerful.
So he hits his aunt with the red arrow. She falls. It's the red arrow makes you do anything you want to. It's also like a Cupid arrow. So he hits his aunt. His aunt is just like, I love you. Oh, I'll tell you anything. He's like, what the fuck happened? Listen, I didn't want to do it, okay? Your uncle made me do it. He set up your parents' car to explode and killed your parents. He wanted it so he can get the insurance money. This is all for money.
I'm about to say, so, but for what reason? I was going to ask, but you answered. Okay.
Insurance money. So they fight, a little bit. And he literally tells his aunt to go die. And since that red arrow is in her still,
Yeah, she literally probably goes and dies, huh? I'm gonna assume.
Her head just explodes.
Oh, so it's not even like a Gias where like if you told like the Gias and you told like go die, they would like then go and die. Like they would like go and like do the action of death. Her head just blows up.
Mm-hmm. And so they blame it on the uncle, which everyone believes it. And now he gets that insurance money back.
Cool. Good.
And so now it's just like, oh, what do I do with these powers? And she's just like, oh yeah, but no, there's more of you. Excuse me?
Yeah, because I was gonna say,
people with angels. What's the purpose of this? Oh, see, there's 13 angels out here, and whoever is the last to survive gets to be God.
I'm gonna say, isn't it the last one to survive is God now? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, oh. So this is like, oh. And as it goes on, you see some of the people, you've only seen like a few people who have the angels. One is his childhood friend, of course.
Oh, because there always has to be a connection.
One is just a piece of shit. And one is like a Kamen Rider-esque hero man.
There always is one. I mean, there wasn't one in Future Diary. But there always is one in these kinds of death games, frankly.
Yeah. But you gotta remember, this is also the person who made Death Note. So
okay,
they always have like, people with like personas, because they did the whole thing with Elle and they did the whole thing with Kira.
Yeah.
So they love that whole persona type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Persona. And so you see that kind of thing. And then in the recent episode, you kind of meet all the other ones, because the one with the Kamen Rider guy, also known as Metropolitan, he wants to, meet everyone. Yeah, I know, it's bad.
Man.
It's bad. It's bad. And dude, he has a metro down his whole face.
Oh my fucking God, Joe.
I'll send you a screenshot of him too.
Please. So he be having turnstiles.
He tells everyone, hey, we're gonna go meet here. And so everyone's just like, that's a trap. It's an instant trap.
Yeah.
Of course the main character goes, because he wants to see it. And that's where it kind of stops, to where you kind of see other people who may have the angels. But they're like, oh, mysterious, oh, menacing.
Ooh, mysterious, very menacing, very scaly.
So I don't exactly know about this show. So
is it
far,
on 3 episodes now?
Yes, it's on 3 episodes.
I'm about to be on that. Everything we talked about, I'm about to be on this shit. I'm about to watch both of them.
So so far it seems like a good show.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure yet. I maybe need like a few more episodes, or I may wait for the season to be done so I can just binge through it all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure yet.
Because it seems like a
I
tensioner.
do very much recommend the first one, which is the world's greatest assassin gets reincarnated, and Faraway Paladin, mostly because I've read the manga and I'm watching the anime. It's really animated well, and so far so good. Reading, however, I've been reading Shikimori Not Just a Cutie. Once again, it's another anime that's going to come out soon. It's about these 2 high school students that just love each other, and one is just like a klutz. Like he's like a klutz. Like he could probably die if not for his friend.
I'm gonna say you talked about this one on the podcast.
Yeah, I did. And his girlfriend, however, is like the coolest. Like she's like the cool kid, like like the kid that's like like, oh, she's good at sports, she's good with her grades, she's like, she looks cool, but she has her cute moments, and the only time you get to see those cute moments is when the boyfriend's with her.
But I say, isn't it like the classic class president archetype?
She's kind of has that archetype, but she's not the class president.
Yeah, but she's not the class president. Yeah, I feel like you would. I feel like you would have mentioned that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. The newest chapter came out. Of course, it was adorable because of course, nothing really much to say. But it's more of the you have pictures of my girlfriend in middle school. I kind of want to see what she was like. It's like that cute thing where it's like, what was she like before I met her?
Yeah,
I have to know.
Isn't that like a thing that happens in relationships, I guess?
Yeah. It's like, what was you like in high school? And it's like, you don't want to see that. It's like, but I kind of did. And the last thing I was reading is the population of the frontier owner starts with 0. It's about this guy who he used to be this huge hero. He gets exiled for something that he shouldn't have gotten exiled for, but like he did it for like bureaucratic reasons.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so now he's in the frontier. He wins over the locals, which is the Oni's trust, and they give him a piece of land as well as a wife.
What the fuck?
Wife, fiance. She basically just falls in love with him, and he's just like, yes. How old are you again? She says her age is, whoo. And he's just like, nope.
Well,
nope.
What, now,
How about, you know what? Engagement right now, just for right now. He is older, but he's not like that much older.
Okay.
But he still feels like, it's kind of. But no, they do. But as the chapters go on, they do grow to like each other, and they do grow to where it's just like, oh, there's a lot of trust. There's like a lot of oh, okay. Once things are not weird, yes, understandable.
Okay, but like, all right, well, now this sounds weird though. But now this sounds weird because how old?
She's like 15.
Okay.
Like every other anime does, to where it's like the older guy and the younger lady.
I was gonna say, because in World Trigger, there's this kind of weird thing going on where the third member of his team, she's 13, and he's 15, right?
It's not that bad.
That's not that bad. But like,
yeah.
Think about think about the difference between like a 13-year-old and a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
Like think about the vast differences there are between the two.
Because one technically is probably still in middle school, the other one's still like maybe first year of high school. Yeah.
I would say, yeah. So like think about that. And every time they're like, "Are you and Chica dating?" And I'm like,
it's one of these things, and
it's one of those things, like, because it really isn't. They do that.
It's a cultural thing that we still don't understand yet, and I don't know they get it yet. But once again, it's a pretty cute. It's a pretty cute manga because they also pick up orphan kids, and now they're basically parents.
Oh, okay.
And they're trying to start up this basically like village so that they can live comfortably. So it's a pretty cool manga. The only thing I had problems with, of course, is the age difference between the two main characters that are engaged. But at the same time, it's still pretty adorable. It's still pretty wholesome most of the time. There hasn't been any occurrences.
Oh, well, good way to put it. There haven't been any occurrences.
Right, but once again, this is all from like a cultural standpoint. Also, like the culture within that tribe itself is still also like we can never understand that kind of stuff. But at the same time, be careful while reading this a little bit. I'm not gonna hold you. It's not for everyone, but also it still has those moments where it's like, that's wholesome, that's cute.
Okay, and then also it also kind of wasn't even his choice. The way that you're saying it, like it was his choice.
I want to be engaged to him.
So like the village, that was the village's ways, and as you said, he was even like, hold on now.
He's like, hold up, time out.
Wait a minute now.
But
how old is you really?
If you try to be like, nah, to that type of village, it seems like a.
It seems like Yeah, there's an episode of Firefly. There's an episode of Firefly like this. There's an episode of Firefly like this.
Now, granted, the reason they like this is because he beat a fucking Earth Dragon.
Oh yeah, dog. You better take this kindness. You beat an Earth Dragon,
and he was like, "Here you go," and they're just like, have everything."
Well, damn. That's a vibe.
Yeah, so that's what I've been on this week.
That's what you've been on this week. Dog, you've been on a lot. You've been on a lot this week. I
literally go off of work and be like, all right, let me see what the new joint that came on.
Bro.
Or, I like see like if there's any like old animes that I've been like wanting to watch, like, oh yeah, just like watch a couple of those.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's exactly what I've been on.
Yeah, I mean, hey yo, I'm definitely finna like get with some of this stuff that you talked about today, though, because like
specifically that assassination one.
I'm gonna say I'm going to watch it. I'm gonna watch that, but Platinum End was already on my radar, and the Faraway Paladin. We talked about that like literally today. So
exactly,
like literally today. So I'm definitely interested in that. And there's a lot of stuff that I need to get on. I need to get on reading Kaiju number 8. That's probably gonna appear.
God, and I also want to read that.
I would say, yeah, I need to read Kaiju number 8.
Legal site that I read stuff on.
Yeah. I need to get on reading Chainsaw Man. There are a couple of things that I need to get on when it comes to reading. It's just that, again, like that hyper fixation. Like solo leveling took over my life. It completely monopolized my like desire to read manga / like manhwa and webtoons. So like I just am so excited for each week.
I understand that.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot of stuff I need to get on, but that's what I've been on. That's what you've been on, and I think this has been what you've been on.
Yeah, I think that is the end of the show. Yeah, thank you again, everyone, for coming along for what we've been on.
Yeah,
you can come watch us on the podcast at Wednesday at 9 p.m. We may be changing times to
Eastern Standard Time.
8. Yeah, Eastern Standard Time. We may be changing it to about 8 p.m. Coming soon.
We haven't decided
Twitter.
We haven't decided.
We'll let you know on Twitter if that happens.
Yes.
And you can also catch the rest of the Box Network on the Box Network at Twitter and on Twitch.
Yep,
twitch.tv in the description and also in this scene that we're in.
I would say, yeah, it's in the description. It's in the scene that we're in. You guys can see it. Well, actually, some of it differs, but all of the links will be down there. I very nearly said the Twitch link out loud when I know that all of the links are going to be down in the description. You'll be able to find us. We'll make sure it's possible. But, come find us. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a good one, man. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, maybe. I don't know.
Yes,
please. All right.
We appreciate it.
We would appreciate it.
So, y'all have a good one.
Bye for now.